Hi there, it's Kennedy from Response Suite. Here's a quick look at the conditional logic feature. So you can make your survey skip questions and show different questions depending on what people answer during the survey. So obviously this is a very complex approach. And when I say complex, it means you can make it really complex or you can make it really, really simple. But what's really interesting about conditional logic is it is so versatile. So I'm going to show you a really simplistic way of looking at it rather than going with a really complex one. And obviously you have to think about how you're going to apply it yourself. So I've just put together this quick survey, which is basically a setup form if I was a web designer. All right. So I just whipped this together in the last sort of 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So in order to skip some questions, you can see that on the survey, do you currently have a website is the first question. If they say yes, they do have a website, you might want to ask, are they looking for improvements to their current website or a totally new website? Whereas if they say no, they don't currently have a website, you might want to skip this second question here and go straight into what type of website are you looking for? Okay, so we're going to just do it based on that really simple skip, and that'll give you the whole idea. So once you've built your survey and put all your questions in and you've thought about how you're going to ask them, you click Save and Next, and on this next page, which is like the settings page, you can do all the usual stuff, but down the left-hand side, you click on Conditional Logic, all right? So here's a really simple way. We've tried to make it this really easy for all of us because one of the things I'm not skilled at is sort of technical stuff and want to make sure that even I could use it. So we make these things into sentences. If do you currently have a website is equal to the value yes or no, so we're going to make it no for this occasion, okay, so no, then hide the question number 2, all right, because that's the question about do you want to have a new website or do you want to have improvements to your current website. So now I'm also going to put another little logic thing in here. If you do you have a currently website is equal to da 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 da, I'm going to add another one, or that same one. Oh, I didn't mean to click that twice. Or if do you have a website is empty, then do that. So that now means that if they haven't chosen whether they have or haven't got a website, it will hide the question, and if they choose no, it will still be hidden as well. All right, so now when we say, and then it'll hide this question number 2, all right, pretty easy. And for each additional one of these you want to add, you just hit the big plus button and it adds more in. What's really nice is we decided as well, because you might want to test things if you might have a problem, because sometimes the logic can get pretty in depth. So if you're having a problem with the logic and you can't quite see why it might not be firing the way you want it to fire, you can actually take each piece of logic and you can switch it off to actually do any troubleshooting you might want to do, all right? It's a really cool little neat thing. So now what that means is when we hit next again, and we put the survey on, and we save it, and we head over to the survey, as you can see, at the moment, that second question is gone. If I say, since I haven't answered this question, do you currently have a website? It goes from this question to what type of website are you looking for? And if I click no, it still says, what type of website are you looking for? However, if I click yes, you'll see that additional question actually shows up. Are you looking for improvements to your current site or a totally new website? And of course, you can make as many conditions on each individual survey across multiple questions as you like. So that's just one of the features that you can use inside of that. But let me show you another one. Because what you can do is, as you know already, you can use some smart stuff in the redirections area to take people to different smart URLs depending on the answers to their questions. But you can take that up to the next level. Because what you can actually do is you can hide entire pages, if that's what you want to do, hide an entire section based on those things, or, of course, you can make certain questions required, certain questions not required anymore, and also you can do some really advanced page redirection stuff. All right, so if this happens, then maybe you want to take them to a different thank you page once they've submitted the survey. So that's a really huge thing. Other thing that's really huge is hiding sections. If you put a section into, let me just save this. If you put a section into your survey, so you just grab a little section break here, and we'll put another section in just here, okay, just to give you an example. So we're going to create the section name. We're going to just call this section 2. And maybe you've put a picture into here, woohoo, like this, and let's choose a really cool picture. Choose an image. A picture of candles looks just like wonderful to me. I love that. So I'm now going to just grab that and resize it. So now, for whatever reason, if they say no, or if they currently don't have a website or they haven't completed that, I don't only want to hide this question, but I actually want to hide this entire section. I don't want to show that image or a video or whatever you might want to put in there, or a headline or a title. So now I can go to the next place. I click on Conditional Logic, and then I can say hide section, and then I can choose the section, which for me will be section 2, all right, because that's what it is. And then I'm going to hit save. And now if I refresh this, you can see that's completely gone. Do you currently have a website? No. That's fine. Do I currently have a website? Yes. And it's that whole section now, which has the image of the picture of the candles in this case, and that question have now appeared. So there's a lot of versatility you've got inside the Conditional Logic suite right here inside of Response Suite. And if you just follow through that logic and read it out loud, honestly, that's the best thing to do if you're not familiar with using normal conditional logic. We've really pulled it back to make it a lot simpler to use than pretty much any other conditional logic suite we've ever been able to find on any other system, not just survey systems, but on like email systems and stuff like that, but without removing any of the power and actual fact giving you more versatility and more power, okay? Because we have so many thens, if that makes sense, all right? So there you go, that's the conditional logic suite. Just read it out loud, it'll help you figure out if do you currently have a website is equal to or value no, or if you currently have a website is empty, then hide the question, hide the section 2, and it just makes perfect sense. And if you have any problems with it where it's not hiding the stuff that you want it to hide, then if you want to try and do some troubleshooting, you can use this handy little switch it on and switch it off, and you can go through each of the conditional logics that you have. Most of my surveys and most of the surveys that our customers use right now won't just have one conditional logic block. There'll be multiples of those, and they can be quite lengthy, but they do allow you to really route your survey takers, your respondents, through a survey that doesn't ask any irrelevant questions, which everybody hates, don't they? Which means that'll boost your responses and also mean you can be more specific in your questions. Enjoy!